Hello, welcome to the fourth day of September 2025. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation, a live video exercise that I do every morning at 5:30 a.m. here in Japan. I do this to remember my life objectives and principles, those which I've written about and codified and encapsulated in a broader story in my book, Going Alone, which you can read for free at goingalone.org. I also use this time to think about yesterday, including last night if I need to go over the interesting challenges and opportunities that I met, as well as the broader sensations of life change, so that I can note what's happening and see where I need to improve, see where I'm doing well so I can do more of the same. Basically take stock of my day and my life. I do this every day in that capacity, like taking a break, a little bit of a coffee break in the midst of it all to assess and prepare for the next stage. When I was a project manager, we would have these kind of meetings every morning, those standing meetings with the team to go over the state of the project in the last 24 hours. I guess this is a standing meeting of a sort. I also read out, or at least enumerate the 8 objectives of my creed, one of the principles, and I prepare for the coming day. But first, I always like to, if I can remember, check the weather. It's right on the spot at just past 5:30 a.m. here in Japan, 25 degrees Celsius and 84% humidity. I think that's right on with where it's been the last couple of days. Yesterday was 25 and 82. The day before that, 25 and 85. The day before that, 25 and 83. The day before that, 25 and 83. So it hasn't changed much, but cooler weather is in store. And look at these broad, high clouds. Although I see a little blue peeking through there, we might have a little bit of relief today, but I believe general relief is on its way. All right, let's get started. Greetings to new subscribers to the channel. I'm glad to see you. Welcome to the channel. A little disclaimer, this is a personal video that you're welcome to observe and leave comments on, or criticisms as you see fit. I don't read comments until the end though, but I will read them all and respond to everything at the end. I do talk about sensitive subjects like death, so just beware. And I want to say a huge thank you for watching my videos, especially those of you who choose to be members on YouTube or supporters on Patreon. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. With that, let's get started. I keep a notebook with me, and I record notes throughout the day. And yesterday's notes, I do this every day at this time, so a new page every day. So today I have 4 notes, which is rare. Usually I just have 1 or 2. But they're all kind of related. The 4 notes are as follows. I'll read them all, and then we'll go over them, because usually I can sometimes tackle them all together. By the way, the dragonflies are coming out. The swallows are out as well. They're way up in the sky today. Sometimes they're down low. I have a river I have a bamboo forest behind my house, and then a river behind that. And the swallows will appear in the morning to catch the rising insects. And then the dragonflies are already here. You can probably see them darting behind me right here. The big red dragons. They're not little, they're big. Interestingly though, even though the bamboo forest and the river have lots of insects, this Katori Senko, I burned this mosquito repellent insects in this pig-shaped burner. You can see the smoke rising. It works great. When I'm standing up here, I can stand up here all day and into the evening and night, and I don't get a single mosquito ever bites me. I don't think I've had a single mosquito. And I keep this door to my room open all day long, and I don't get a single mosquito in there. This mosquito repellent really works well. Let's read the notes. 4 notes. First note, holding my tongue with ease. Remember, these are notes about the last 24 hours. Holding my tongue with ease. Second note, flying in stealth mode. I can't read the third note. What does it say? Oh, no, I can't read it. I don't know what it is. The fourth note says, beyond the hedges. So let's go with the three notes that I can read. Holding my tongue with ease, flying in stealth mode, and beyond the hedges. These, I can tackle these all at once. They speak to kind of a general sensation that I had yesterday of being invulnerable to the internal assaults that have always plagued me. The assaults of saying, you know, you're not busy, Kurt, you're not busy enough, you're not well engaged enough, you need to be more, um, uh, you need to be more productive. Kurt, you've got time, you've got space, empty space to fill it with words. You're with people, communicate, that's what you do. All these things that would constantly keep me at kind of a low, simmering, almost a boil in my entire life. Since I've retired, and 8 months ago, the temperature has dropped, and now I'm kind of in just kind of a warm mode, like a muffin out of the oven, you know, kind of ooh, it feels nice. It's nice. That's how I feel these days. I don't feel like there's an internal heat driving me anymore. And if I had said those words to myself a year ago, that would have been worrisome. I would have said, oh, no internal heat driving yourself, Kurt? What are you doing? What value is your life, and what's going to become of you? I'm not worried about those things anymore. I've completed my life objectives. The inertia that I have, which doesn't seem to be maintained of that heat, it seems to become almost like a gravitational inertia. It seems to be like an asteroid hurtling through space. You know, I feel like I'm full of that kind of energy, this kind of invisible motive energy that just hurtles me through life now without me needing to generate anything new. I don't have to burn anything to propel myself forward anymore. I'm just zipping along, just on the inertia of a lifetime of productive effort. As a result, I'm holding my tongue with ease, first note, not feeling driven to speak, but being all right with quiet. Quiet when I'm with my wife, quiet when I'm with my father-in-law, and yesterday, quiet when I was spending time with a new friend at his home here just up the river, and we were hanging out, just listening to records yesterday, drinking beer in the afternoon. A couple of retired guys drinking beer, listening to records, and enjoying the quiet and talking as well. Flying in stealth mode. Yesterday, I also felt invulnerable to these. I felt invulnerable to a lot. Felt invulnerable to life in general, my business failing. I got the 2 packages back from the post office, the last 2 customer orders that I had shipped that had, the Japan Post had halted in Aichi because they had decided they would no longer ship to the United States, and they sent them back to me yesterday. I was invulnerable to the sensation of failure, that my business had failed again. Not failure on my part, but failure overall. Invulnerable to a whole host of things. It's just worry and doubt and guilt. Worry and doubt and guilt. It sounds like that old mantra, lions and tigers and bears, oh my. Worry and doubt and guilt. I want to write that down. Worry and doubt. Which worry, doubt, and guilt have been attendant to my living all my life, which I think in some ways were helpful in refining me, helping me to stay on track of being a good human being and also being a productive member of society and working hard at my job. Worry, doubt, and guilt. But those are not very useful anymore. And again, I'm riding that inertia of life. So worry, doubt, and guilt, flying in stealth mode, the radar of worry and doubt and guilt can't even see me anymore. I mean, not in an absolute sense. I still worry, I still doubt, and I still feel guilt, but I'm far less visible or vulnerable to these sensations than ever before. And then beyond the hedges, I used an example the other day of retirement, the first of becoming a retiree, which is after we stop working, we become a retiree. We're not a retired person yet, we're a retiree. A retiree is a newly minted retired person who hasn't yet figured out how to float. Floating is what happens when you get beyond the pale of the influence of the workaday world, and it takes time. A couple of months, half a year, 2 years, before you can float and be free. Some people don't float, they sink instead, and that's a pretty sad and miserable way to end life. And it's a real danger when you embark on retirement that you may not sink, you may not float, you may sink. And I went through that, and I'm floating now, thank goodness. And another way of describing it, I described it already as floating. Another way I describe it is like reaching, in England, you have these great expanses of land, of cultivated, landlord property, and then there'll be a big hedge. Instead of a fence, they would plant a big green hedge, almost like the wall of green behind my house here, and it would keep animals and human beings from crossing over because it was a hedge. But hedges are penetrable if you have enough determination and commitment. You can kind of part the branches and kind of insinuate yourself into the hedge and then poop your way through and pop out the other side. And the other note that I have here is beyond the hedges. I feel like I've popped out the other side and I'm floating. And I now feel like I'm flying in stealth mode and holding my breath with ease, being at ease in just about every way, sitting at ease with my friend yesterday in his beautiful home up the river. He had an upstairs, he's got a music room where he has, his father-in-law had owned a record rental store here in Japan. You remember VCR stores, video rental stores in the United States and the West? And they had them here as well. But I don't ever remember record rental stores in the United States. But that was a thing here. His father-in-law had owned one. And when his father-in-law passed away, his daughter, my friend's wife, inherited the beautiful sound system, the record player, all the beautiful speakers, and all of the records. And he set up a room in his house, an audio room, and then there's a big walk-in closet with all of the records in there and a catalog that you can pick from. You can pick what you want to listen to. Really, really nice. So I was holding my tongue with ease while listening to music and drinking beer and eating snacks with my friend. It was a good day yesterday. It was a genuinely retired day. I should give myself a scale of 1 to 5 and how well I'm living in retirement. Yesterday was definitely a 5-star day. All right, let's review my creed. My creed consists of 8 objectives as follows, and you can read about them in the chapter titled The Good Life in my book, Going Alone. First objective, to be always ready to die, to have my affairs, my relationships, and my life's work in order. And if not in order, at least in not too messy a state. And they're well in order. My daughter is grown, my book is written, my finances are solid and sound for retirement. So yeah, I'm ready to die. Number 2 is to make good and effective use of my time. Well, let me back up for just a second, because I can almost hear someone saying, "Wait, is that it? Is that all you want to do to be ready for death? Is just to have a clean affairs?" That's actually a lot, right? Having one's life work complete, including raising your child into adulthood and making sure that everything is good for my wife should I die first, and making sure that I don't have any people in my life that I need to reach out to fix any issues. Those are 3 big things. I mean, yeah, that's enough for me. I don't want to climb Mount Everest. I don't have any dream to land a 400-pound tuna. Having my life's work complete, my relationships in good order, and my life and my affairs in order. That's all I need, and I'm ready to die. So back to number 2. Number 2 is to make good and effective use of my time. It's good to attend to both of those words. Good use means that I'm making good utility of my time. I'm not wasting it in a way that I'm not using my time in a way that I would be ashamed of later. And utility means that if if I am making good use of my time, that it actually has demonstrable ends that are yielding virtue. Virtue being the improvement of the well-being of thinking creatures, namely human beings. So I do things like make these videos, like stand up and cause myself to think, like take long walks, and try to review what's going on in life, so that I can tune myself in my interactions with others. Take calls when people want to reach out and talk to me and talk about life. I'll take those calls, or go downtown and meet those people. Things like that. These are all very good uses of time. Watching reruns on TV, although I'm starting to change my tune. I started watching the Star Trek series again, the original. And I used to say that that was not a good use of time. That's because I had so many other things I wanted to do. But now that I'm retired and I have ample time to attend to it all, yeah, watching a rerun of Star Trek is probably becoming a good use of time. I'm enjoying it too. And I can have fun too. My third objective is to develop and maintain good and sound life principles. That's namely the 8 objectives and 35 principles in my book. And I do that through this video exercise every day. It's the main way I do it. 4 is to cultivate good emotional reactions. So I become a man who responds well, reacts well when things get hard. I don't fly off the handle. I don't act out of scope of my reasonable assertion of the events. I'm getting really good now, especially since I've retired, at recognizing where I should and should not engage, and just letting things happen, where it's beyond the scope of my reach, or I recognize that what I might want to say is neither germane or welcome, and I'll just be quiet. It's an interesting new approach to life. Number 5 is to perform. 5th objective is to perform good actions in accordance with my values. Number 6 is to recognize my true limits and true opportunities, so that I know how far I can reach and how far I can't. That helps me to husband my time and my effort within the scope of what I can actually influence in life. Now, that's why these videos are so good, because these videos reverberate, right? I mean, I upload them, they continue, they persevere, and people watch them now and in the future. And there's hundreds and not thousands of them now, these Good Life Meditation. And I get feedback all the time from people who watch these and say, that they might have gained a little bit from hearing me talk about a challenge that I met and overcome. This is attendance to objective number 5 of living a virtuous life, sharing both my values and my successes and failures in living a life in accordance with these values. Number 6 is to, I kind of backed up, didn't I? I was on number 6, recognizing my true limits and true opportunities. I can't quite touch the camera. Anything out there is beyond me. Well, of course I could move forward, but you get the point. Number 7 is to do just one thing at a time, and do that thing slowly, deliberately, and carefully. And my 8th objective is the objective of balance, which comes of working hard at the first 7. If I can work hard at the first 7, principally at the first, number 1, being ready for death, then balance just kind of follows as a natural consequence. Okay, now let's read one principle. Today I'm going to read Life Will Not Go Well, which follows immediately in the wake yesterday. Wasn't it Temperance yesterday? Yes. Yesterday I talked about temperance, the principle that guides me in helping to control my emotions and my responses to the world, and as well as my consumption of the world. Next is Life Will Not Go Well, a reminder that sometimes life will not go well. I'll be damned if I don't nearly always stumble, trip, slip or otherwise get bounced around, turned backwards, and have the hardest time keeping a straight line towards the objects and ends I set myself to reach or achieve. It's like life is this imperfectly evaluated landscape of changing textures, seasons, and weather, where winds, remember I wrote this under a flash flood bridge, under Route 66 in the deep Mojave Desert near the ghost town of Siberia. So it's, if I'm writing about the atmosphere and it sounds a bit like the desert, there you go. It's like life is this imperfectly evaluated landscape of changing textures, seasons, and weather, where winds suddenly gust from one side, and slippery ice appears on the ground in a shady hollow, or a lurking beast stalks and jumps from behind, and a friend hails us, demanding our time and attention, and our bodies complain and yield to fatigue, disease, and our ever-increasing weakness of capacity and uncertainty regarding want. That we ever get anywhere we've set out for is an amazing feat, demonstrative of strong object principles, seemingly indefatigable will, and a wisdom arrived at by way of experience, reflection, and resolve. Life will not go well, but we certainly can if we try. A reminder that to not be surprised when life happens. And I remind myself this constantly because life is always throwing roadblocks, and I'm stumbling at various points every single day. Okay, the next 24 hours, I'm excited. Today's beauty salon day. When I lived in Japan previously, my wife and daughter would go to a salon called Forte, and Taka-san is their stylist. He was their stylist back then. It's very expensive, and it's like $100 haircut, and because they do other things too. And I never did that. That was like, oh, I'm never going to do anything like that, right? You know, I went down to the cheap barber down the street. But since retiring, and since returning to Japan, and since um, our means exceed our, how do you say that? We have more money coming in than we need. We're not living the tight budget that we lived when we were raising a child and all that stuff. We indulge a little bit. And although if I was living on my own, well, maybe I would now. Going to a nice hair salon probably would not be the thing I would indulge in, but I did recognize coming over that I know how much my wife and my daughter both enjoy this, particularly my wife. And I thought, this would be a great way to, spend time with my wife, to have something that we can do once a month together, to go to the salon together, and they sit us side by side, and we both get a nice salon treatment. They do the shampoo, the cut, the style, the massage, everything. And like I said, it's about $100 haircut for each of us, but it's like a half a day, quarter of it, not a half full day. It's like a 3-hour event, right? And you come out and you look great and you feel great. And I sit side by side with my wife, and we talk and compare notes. And we've always got this stylist, Taka-san, and his assistant, Miki-chan, who's studying English, and she's really friendly and cute. And so we and I always talk. I mean, cute in the kawaiis, because she's young and excited about life, and she's studying and she's interested in the world. And so she and I always have this banter, and I always speak English with her because she's studying English, and so we have a lot of fun. It's a real monthly event that both my wife and I really look forward to. And today's that day. Now, I didn't put any product in my hair this morning because I didn't want to go into it. But normally, Taka-san looks and he figures something out, and he'll give me this. Mickey will give me this magazine to go through. It's all these young, 25-year-old young men, because it's a place for young people, young Japanese guys with the hair all wow. And I go through and I pick one that looks like it might work. So the one I went with recently, I'm going to do again today because I really liked it last time. It's almost like tightly shaved all around here, and then it goes really up high along the top. It's like this volcano of hair, and tight shaved along here. So I'm going to get that one again. I was really happy with it last time. He always does a great job. So Yeah, enough of the, enough of the. When I was living in Huntington Beach by myself after my wife came over, I was proud of myself that I was getting I had found a $10 barber. They did a good enough job, but you got a $10 cut, right? That's all I've got in store for today. Just that. It's Thursday. I'm this close to sending a package out to the young, well, I guess he's not as young as he used to be, the young man who did my avatar all those years ago. I've almost got that ready to go. All right, let's go ahead and read comments. Hello, Tim. Good morning to you. Weather check in the UK is 14.3 C and 80% humidity. Heavy thunderstorms today. Ooh, 14.3. Just a little below the green zone and 80% humidity. It's pretty nice actually, huh? No running for you today, and the plants are going to get watered on their own, huh? Tim says, I think if you have worked for over 40 years, you're conditioned to a degree to carry that on into retirement. Only natural and hard to shake that off for the first 6 months into retirement. Hallelujah, brother. I agree. After that, you slowly relent and almost give in. That's where that's where the at ease relaxation side takes over, which I found, and further I progress on into retirement life. Again, hallelujah, brother. I'm seeing the light. That's exactly what I'm experiencing, and I feel like I've crossed over to that other side, and it's worn off in a way, and it's a different world now. Hello, Julie. Hi, I'm late today. Well, I'm glad you made it. There's Evelyn. I've gained a lot after having listened to these meditations for 4 years now, every day. Wow, thank you, Evelyn. I think about you every day when I start this. I'm thinking, because I don't know who's going to show up, but I always think, well, I know Evelyn she'll either be in the live or she'll join later. And knowing that you're there and that you're going to watch causes me to do a better job. And I do appreciate that because I respect your opinion, Evelyn, and I want to do a good job being honest and forthright in my exploration of life, to do good honor to the service that you to do good honor to the fact that you're willing to spend a little bit of time with me here every day. Thank you for that. It helps me a lot too. I'm glad it's been helpful to you. Julie says, good old Mojave, always good for a desert trip. That certainly is. Oh, and Tim says, luckily dry for the 5-mile walk this morning, but got caught in a thunderstorm in the garden, completely drenched. Ooh, that sounds kind of fun. That's kind of neat. I'm this close to buying a dog push stroller for the, namely, now that it's starting to cool, I want to start going out and walking a lot. And I want to go out, I want to outfit this dog thingy with all the stuff, like the accoutrements, like, have a little snack in there, a place for a drink, my book, etc. And as the weather begins to cool, just start going out into the community. I mean, one of the things I'm really glad that we bought this house where we did, because we're right on the edge of countryside, deep out back there, deep countryside, and then big city right over there. I can literally go out with a push stroller and be out in Japan. It's just an amazing place. You just walk around and because there's no zoning, and there's like temples and restaurants and houses and condominiums and factories and canals and railroads. It's all mixed up. It's like you're walking through and you're like, what the heck? And little parks here and there, and so you can sit and do stuff. So this close to pulling the trigger. I'm just waiting to see if I get any good feedback. And Evelyn, if you have any feedback about a good doggy push stroller, we want to get one. Even though we have little dogs, we want to get one that's big enough to put both Rudy and Ollie in together. So I'm thinking about getting one big enough for like a golden retriever, and then that would be big enough for the boys together. Julie says, your idea of walking with the dog reminds me of a newspaper column we have here with a roving reporter. That sounds nice. Does that reporter walk with the dog or go around with the dog? I'm guessing that's the case. Tim says, sounds good. Definitely so. Taking up long walks big time now. Yeah, especially now that the weather hopefully is starting to cool a little bit, huh? All right, well, I'm just going to see if there's anything else before I sign off. I have plenty of time to make it now to radio exercise. And oh, I'm doing something over on the X platform. My friend Ricky, aka Paprika Girl, over there started a September challenge, and she's given us every day a challenge for a post on following a different themed words. Today it's leaves, and I have something in mind, so I think I can finish. I can make that video before we do exercise because I'm kind of getting finished a little early this morning. Hello, Francisco Zanetti. Hello there. And that's what I was waiting for Julie to see if she had a follow-up. Yes, it's actually written from the dog's perspective. I'm glad I waited. So that's the new angle, right? From the dog's perspective. Very interesting. That's really interesting. All right. And oh, there's Evelyn says, enjoy getting pampered today. You deserve it. Thank you very much. We'll see how it all comes out. Wish you all the best, everybody. Be safe, but not too safe. And ciao, Evelyn over there is it Bologna? It's Italy, right? Okay. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye, Tim. Wait to see if Evelyn's typing. Yes, it's Italy. I'm pretty sure that's where you are, right?